4?
Yep.
Just enough to drop him.
Nice.
He guts him with his sword.
Way to go, Quickpick. All right.
And Quickpick kind of looks at you and just kind of like wipes his sword off and sheathes it and says, "All right, we gotta move fast. They probably heard that."
Let's go. I do a little flippy over the pew.
Nice. Do you do a Kirk roll, a Kirk somersault?
That's exactly what I do.
Awesome. So yeah, you lead the way. You guys run up the stairs to the library. What specifically are you looking for, and how much time are you going to take looking for it?
When we get up to the top of the stairs, I actually want to take a listen.
Oh, okay.
What do I hear?
Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
12.
You don't hear anything up here, but you hear, from outside, you hear the...
Okay.
Whatever the Gearfiend, whatever Quickpick called it, moving out in the street.
Alright, but I don't hear anything in the building.
No.
So, I mean, I'm just going to kind of take my time and keep my ears open.
Okay, yeah.
And what I'm looking for is, I want to get myself up to speed, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
On everything that I've missed.
Okay, cool.
Well, at least the important stuff.
Okay.
And specifically, if I can find anything about the miasma.
Yeah. Okay. Quickpick says, right, what do you want me to do? You want me to keep an eye out?
I don't want to sound rude, but can you read?
Yeah, I can read.
So you could find things in the library?
I suppose I don't read quick. I'm quick pick, not quick read.
Well, can you maybe find anything you can on the Warforged, the constructs for me?
All right. Yeah, sure. I can help you look.
Yeah, so I just want him to focus on that one.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and give me investigation rolls for you and for Quickpick. Quickpick doesn't have investigation as a skill, so it will just be his intelligence.
That 10 for him.
Okay.
And 6 for me.
6 for you. So
I insulted his reading, and he's doing better than I am.
Well, so the library, it has been picked away at a little bit. Obviously, the orcs and the other creatures that are looting the city aren't really looking for books.
Right.
But they have come up here, and if something has a shiny cover, or, you know, if it has metal on the cover or something, they might have grabbed it. So some of the books are missing. Some of them are in bad repair, just from the looting that's happened. You know, a couple shelves have been knocked over and stuff like that. And it takes you, you know, a good half an hour to scrounge up, you know, a few things that you can take with you to research. You know, you don't have a lot of time to just kind of sit there and read through and actually learn something, but you find a few different books on events that have been occurring since you've been gone.
Okay.
And Quickpick comes to you with a book on combat warforged and like more recent models that were developed. In the last century or so.
Okay, perfect.
Neither of you find anything about the ruination or the miasma. It seems like these were things that the Eladrin were not aware of before they happened.
Yeah. So. Cool. So, like, is it a small enough amount of books that I can fit them in my bag?
Yeah, you can carry them. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And some of them are like scrolls or just like loose paper.
Yeah.
So they're not all big heavy tomes.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Yeah. And as you're kind of looking through, is getting kind of closer.
Oh.
And Quickpick, you see Quickpick keeps looking out the window, kind of keeping an eye out.
Okay. Oh no. Ooh, need some caffeine. Okay. So I say, have you been able to see them yet?
No, I've seen a few more orc patrols go by. They haven't peeked their noses in. I haven't seen any warforged yet, but I know for a fact there's a Gearfiend out there. Nothing else makes it sound like that.
Do you think you can get us out of the city if we leave now?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Well, let's go. At this point, you probably know better than I do the best way to get out of here.
Yeah, well, I have been in and out of the city a lot lately. Yeah, all right, I'll get us out of here. Found what you're looking for?
I think so.
All right. Yeah, I'll get us out of here. And he starts moving towards the stairs.
Okay. Do I need to do another poison check?
Yes. Actually, not quite yet.
No, not quite?
No, not
Okay.
quite yet.
Okay.
It will take you longer to get out of the city, though, so it'll be another check before you get out.
Okay.
Because it's only been about a half an hour, 40 minutes since you last made your check. So
Okay.
because you came upstairs, fought the orcs, and then library. So Quickpick heads down the stairs out into the main chamber of the Fane, and as he's moving towards the main door, he's kind of like looking back longingly at that wall, that kind of relief with the cube-shaped hole in it, and he just says, "I'm gonna open that thing someday."
Well, we all have to aspire to something.
He says, "You know, I have my dreams. I'm sure you have dreams as well."
Of course, I wasn't discounting your dreams.
Oh, you just sounded sarcastic.
That's just how I talk.
Well, I think eventually I'll learn when you're being genuine and when you're being sarcastic. He peeks his head out the front door. He says, "I don't see any Warforged. I think we can start making our way out of here."
All right, I'm following you.
He starts moving down the street. He's keeping close to the buildings. He's not walking out in the middle of the street. And a few times he kind of cuts through some alleyways and stuff here and there. After about 15 minutes, go ahead and make your check.
10.
Exactly 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have to stop and catch your breath in an alleyway, and Quickpick goes, "Come on, what's wrong? What's going on?"
It's getting harder to breathe.
Oh.
We have to take the shortest path out of this fog.
"I'm trying to get us out of here. I'm sorry. I forgot that stuff messes with the moon elves."
I apologize for slowing us down.
"No, it's all right. I think there's a patrol coming this way. We need to duck into a building and hide out for a bit. I'm sorry."
Okay.
He looks around. He finds a small sort of domestic building, peeks in the door and ushers you in.
I go in.
Yeah. So the house has been, like much of the city, has been looted, but you do see sitting on a mantle a small statuette of a dire oak. It's like a little tree. And if you go and look at it, it's actually carved from bone. It's like a little bone statuette of a dire oak.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take it.
You take it?
Yeah.
Cool. And as you take it, Quickpick's kind of like peeking out the window, keeping watch, and he sees you take it, and he goes, "Oh, right, you can take stuff."
I was drawn to this because it reminds me of my home that no longer exists. It has sentimental and cultural value.
You see him kind of like roll his eyes a little bit, but he doesn't say anything.
I let it slide.
And Quickpick says, "All right, we just need to lay low for a little bit."
Okay, I think I can wait a little while longer.
All right. And he sits down and he starts kind of dressing his wounds that he got hit with the javelin and stuff, so he kind of starts bandaging himself up.
I'll ask if he needs any help.
He says, "No, I think I got it. Thanks, though. So, if you don't mind me asking, I'm a curious sort by nature. Why are you back here in Tien?"
Well, I left a long time ago and swore I was never coming back, but I started having visions of everyone I ever knew or loved dying in horrible ways. And my conscience just couldn't let me stay away any longer.
Rough break.
Well, they push too hard, and nature always, well, you can see, reclaims.
Yeah. So Why you left?
Yes and no.
Mm.
Mostly yes.
Well, it's pretty much been this way with the Warforged since, well, as long as I've been alive. The Moon Elves were warned with the Warforged, and then the Warforged ended the war.
How did it start? How did they spread the miasma?
Well, I mean, I don't know rightly how it started. I'm not big on history myself, but from what my dad told me, the Eladrin made the Warforged. The Warforged turned against the Eladrin when the Eladrin tried to use them, and well, they fought and they fought and they fought for about 20 years, something like that. And then, well, it was just a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, the Ruination happened. Big bright light, big, just flash, could be seen from all over the island. I remember I was standing out on the drawbridge in my village, and I saw this big, just flash of light on the horizon. And then, well, I haven't seen Eladrin since, and the miasma's been here. No one quite knows what it is. Big spell, big bomb, we don't know. But, well, it doesn't really matter now, does it?
Might not matter now, but it could matter in the future. If they could do this to wipe out one race, what's stopping them from making something that will wipe out everyone else?
Yeah, my dad's worried about that. It is, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got no love for elves, but it just seems excessive.
A little heavy-handed, yeah.
Just a little bit, yeah. Well, and now they're staking their claim on the entire of the island, and as he's talking, you hear something shift in the back room as he's talking. He's kind of like, I was just there.
I reach out and cover his mouth, and
he, at first he's kind of like, what are you doing? And then he goes, oh. And he loosens the sword in its scabbard.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a dart out.
Okay.
And I want to just kind of like look and listen.
So you hear more kind of shifting in the back, and then you hear kind of like grinding gears and metal sliding against metal as something moves down the back hallway towards the room that you're in. Kind of, and it sounds like it's dragging something.
Would I know, like, if there would be any way that I'd be able to defend myself against a construct?
I mean, yeah.
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 Okay.
They're not invincible by any means. They're definitely worthy opponents, but yeah, they're just metal and wood, you know. They break and burn, just like everything else.
I'm going to. I signal to Quickpick. I keep wanting to say Pick Quick, like the burger, burger place.
Like the burger place. I kind of did that intentionally.
So I signal to Quickpick, like follow me, and I'm gonna kind of quietly head back there.
Mm-hmm. He kind of pulls out an arrow, notches his bow, and follows you, and or knocks his bow, and you see as you move down the hallway. This is the main room that you're in. You move down the hallway, and you see the hallway kind of goes off this way, and you see moving. Good, put yourself here. Moving down the hallway, kind of dragging one of its legs, is it's not a Warforged, but it's one of the old, like, house golems. it's basically like a butler that the Eladrin used to use, and it looks a lot more advanced than the ones that were around when you were here, but it has the same kind of look, the same sort of chassis, and it's dragging its leg, and it kind of like swivels its head and it sees you, and it has these blue glowing like optic, like emeralds, but gems in its eyes, and it sees you, and it like kind of picks up the pace and starts moving towards you, dragging its broken leg.
I want to wait until I can see if it's moving towards me, like with intention to harm me or not.
Okay. Yeah, it's moving towards you, and Quickpick is like, he's drawn back an arrow and he's ready to fire.
I like signal to Quickpick, like, just wait 1 second.
He kind of has this look like, okay, whatever you say, boss, you know. It moves towards you with great haste, and you see it slings back one of its arms, and it looks like it's getting ready to like basically throw its arm, like whip its arm around at you.
Oh shit! Yeah. I throw a dart at it.
Okay, go for it.
14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Hits.
And 5 damage.
Okay. You sink a dart into its innards. You hear it kind of grinding away, but it's still standing. Do you want Quickpick to loose his arrow?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Ooh, not 8.
No. The arrow bounces off the plating of this thing, and it's going to swing its arm at you here. It hits you for 2 bludgeoning damage. The weight of this metal and wooden arm hits you, and you kind of, you know it's going to be a bruise.
Okay. I am going to punch it with my fists.
Do it.
Punch of your buns. Ooh,
Oh,
crit.
nice! Is that your crit dance?
Yeah, that was it.
I like it.
Okay. And 8 damage.
8 damage?
Yep.
This thing drops. You grab it and just slam its head against the wall, and it just falls into a crumpled heap of metal and wood.
I don't want to slam its head against the wall. I'm trying to be quiet.
I was trying to be cool.
Yeah. So I do like a little Legolas flippy. I like grab its neck and do a flippy around it, and I'm on top of it, and just sort of like pull something out.
Pull stuff out.
And then help it slip down to the ground.
Awesome. Yeah. You just kind of ride it down to the ground and soften its fall so it doesn't make a bunch of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like this thing has like just been in disrepair, dilapidated for a while, and so it didn't take much to drop it.
Yeah. Is there any part of it that I might know how to make useful?
That's a good question. If you want to give me a give me an intelligence roll, just flat intelligence.
17.
17. So,
like, even if there are parts that I would know to sell.
To sell? Well, all constructs have a power source of some kind.
Okay.
The power sources of most of these kind of, like, rudimentary constructs are basically these small spheres that carry just a small amount of kind of arcane energy. Mm-hmm. Just kind of similar to like a ring that can store a spell. Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of thing that gives life to these things.
Yeah.
And so if you can kind of wrench it open a little bit and take it, you know, it might fetch you a price.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to put like basic power source?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and it doesn't take you long. This thing's already kind of broken enough where you can just kind of wrench it open and yank this thing out. And Quickpick says, sometimes we run into, wayward constructs like this, things that got left behind. Not quite Warforged, but,
still not friendly.
Yeah.
So, when the conflict started between the Eladrin and the constructs, did all of the constructs turn on them?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but based on what I've seen here in Tien, well, it looks like at least some of them did, yeah.
Interesting. Does it seem like it's safe to go outside yet?
He says, let me take a peek. He goes and looks outside. He says, well, the old patrol seems to have moved on, and I don't think we attracted attention. Honestly, I don't think they're expecting to find anyone in here. So, I think we can keep moving.
Alright, lead the way.
So he keeps taking you through the city, and he kind of tells you a little bit, as you guys are moving, he tells you a little bit about what he knows about these particular orcs. And he says, I caught a look at the brands on these orcs when we were fighting them. I think they're sworn to Lord Brassflame. He's one of the Iron Lords.
I better write that down, she says. Okay, Lord Brassflame.
Yeah. He controls most of the Warforged forces here in this area. He's a mean old robot, that's for sure. He's got these orcs under his boot, and they do most of the fighting for him.
I have a hard time imagining orcs and Warforged working well together for some reason.
Well, they don't exactly work well together, but the Warforged kind of say, do this or we'll wipe you out, and the orcs are in it for gold and fighting. Point them in the direction of a fight and they'll do pretty much anything.
Fair enough.
Not like goblins. We're respectable.
Different.
Yeah, sure. Quickpick leads you through the alleyways of Tien. At this point, the miasma is getting a little overwhelming for you. It's not drastically inhibiting you, but it's just getting like, it's like you haven't been able to take a breath for like 3 hours. Everything feels kind of shallow and like you can't get your lungs full, you know?
Right.
And you notice too that your hair is still kind of falling out in big clumps the longer that you're in here in the miasma. And actually, as you're moving, kind of, you see Quickpick kind of glances back and looks at you and says, "Are you all right? You look a little pale. I mean, paler than usual."
I am sure I'll be able to recover after I am able to get some fresh air.
Right, yeah, okay. Well, we're almost out of here. And he turns a corner and he goes, "We just gotta get..." And he stops and he says, "Past that." And go ahead and put yourself at the end of the street here.
Oh, there we are. We moved.
So, between you and the way out of this city is a number of orcs. First and foremost, a number of orcs. But most importantly is this.
Oh, shit.
Can the camera see that? Yeah.
You should take a second and zoom. Zoom it in.
We'll get an action shot here. Bum bum bum. So, this is the Gearfiend that Quickpick was telling you about. A massive titan of steel and wood. And I forgot to flip the thing around.
God, that's so cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
It's like one of the coolest miniature ever. A massive titan of steel and wood and grinding gears, and it's stalking down the street on its legs, and you see it has, in place of like hands, it basically has two swinging pendulums, and on one is an axe, and on the other is a huge hammer. I mean, the head of this hammer is something you could never hope to lift. It's just a boulder.
Oh my gosh.
The
boulder.
The boulder. And it's marching down the street sort of patrol style with orcs walking in front of it. And Quickpick just kind of stops dead in the middle of the street, unsure what to do.
I quick say to Quickpick, do you know, do they just keep moving forward or do they have their own volition?
And he says, they can think. We gotta get past this thing somehow.
Oh my gosh. Are these buildings?
They are.
Do they have doors?
They do.
Okay.
They're also scalable.
Okay.
And provide cover if you get behind them or in them.
Okay. I'm gonna try and climb up here.
You're gonna climb up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and move yourself over there and give me an athletics check, if you would, please.
Ooh, I rolled a 20.
Nice. Automatic success. You scramble up the wall like a monkey and get up onto this is about a 2-story building with a short, flat top. So you clamber up and get on top of the building.
Okay.
What about Quickpick?
I yell down to Quickpick. I hide if you need to, but I have to try and take this thing down.
You're going to try to take it down? Okay, cool. Quickpick, I mean, you tell him what to do. You put him where you want him. Yeah.
I imagine he begrudgingly comes up too.
Cool. So he's going to need to make an athletics check. I don't think he has athletics, so he'll just make a strength check.
Okay. 14.
14. So he doesn't quite scramble up as nimbly as you do, but he's about halfway up the building.
Okay.
Following you up. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative here.
Okay.
These things have spotted you and are going to try to get combat. Man, I'm rolling crap for initiative.
14.
14. So you guys get to go first. So you're on top of the building. Quickpick's about halfway down. You can have him come up and meet you if you so wish.
Yeah, I want him to come up here.
Okay, cool. So he makes it up, spends the last of his movement getting up there. But he still has his action, so if you want him to take a shot, you could.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have him shoot at this closest guy.
Okay, cool.
Uh, 12.
12 is just enough.
And 7 damage.
7 damage, okay. Cool. What about you?
I'm going to... What are these?
Those are trees.
These are trees?
Yeah. So if you wanted to like leap into the tree and then on your next turn leap to the other building, you could totally do that. It would be
Okay.
acrobatics checks.
I'm actually just going to stay on the building. I want to try and jump on it.
Mm-hmm. You gonna wait for it to get closer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just throw a dart at one of the orcs?
Yeah, what's the range on your darts? 20 feet?
Oh gosh, I didn't write it down.
I think it's 20 feet for a dart.
That's what daggers are.
Yeah, so it's going to be 20 feet. So you can hit them.
Okay, cool.
They're just at the edge of the range.
So 15.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And 3.
3, okay. So he's still standing, or no, he's not. You drop him.
Oh, nice.
That orc goes down with a dart in his face. Okay. So that was you and Quickpick. You want to do anything with your movement or bonus actions? I don't think you can do a bonus action with your dart.
No. Nope, so that's going to be it, I think.
Okay. Don't forget you have your key points, too.
Oh, yeah, I know.
For flurry of blows and also defense and stuff. So the orcs kind of take up positions. They bark a few orders at each other and kind of take up positions. The big Gearfiend, its head kind of swivels, and you see it's got these kind of red eyes. Its head swivels, and it kind of like sees you, and you see this gleam come over its eyes, and it swivels and starts coming towards the building. It moves very slow, but its strides are pretty long, so it starts moving towards the building, and it'll be there in just a few seconds. The orcs are going to try their luck with the javelins. The one directly below you there is within range, so he's going to take a shot here. He totally misses. The other two are actually going to be rolling at disadvantage because they're more than 30 feet away from you with the javelins. So that's a miss. And a miss.
Nice.
1 and a 3 with disadvantage. So as you're on top of the building, kind of crouched down on the building, you hear javelins just kind of ping, kind of like ricocheting off the stone around you. And Quickpick is kind of leaned up against he's kind of like peeking over the edge of the building with an arrow, and he's just like, "What are we going to do?"
Well, I just realized he and I are both really low on HP. So I think we're going to sit down and take a potion really quick.
Okay, yeah. Take a knee.
Yeah. Because that got really fast. So.
Yeah.
So I get 7 HP back.
Nice. You're adding the +2 to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you toss one to Quickpick?
And old Pick Quick. Also gets 7.
Nice.
So he's at full HP.
He's at full HP.
Okay. So that's
your
what
turn.
we're doing this turn.
Okay, cool. So the orc below you is... Oh, and do you want to, like... So there's a lip on this building. Like it's not just like a flat thing. It has a bit of a, for lack of a better term, like a barrier on it. And you can use your movement to duck below that and have concealment.
Okay, yeah, that's what we do.
So the orcs are, like, if they throw their javelins, they have like 0 chance of hitting you, basically.
Okay, cool.
And so seeing that you've taken cover, these two orcs kind of draw out their mace and their axe and start moving across the street towards the building. And this orc stays below and just kind of like has a javelin, is just kind of waiting for one of you to pop out, almost as if he's readying an action. As soon as someone pops up, he's going to huck a javelin.
Okay.
The Warforged Gearfiend actually steps on the dead orc and brings the hammer down on the building. So I'm going to need you and Quickpick to both make dexterity saving throws.
Okay, so I get 13.
Okay.
And Quickpick rolls a 20.
Nice. So you both avoid it's pretty slow, like it and then and so you both kind of back out of the way, but he obliterates the front of the building.
Okay.
So scoot both of you back just a little bit. The front of the building just totally crumbles as this hammer just slams into it.
Okay.
And there's a big plume of dust that billows up, kind of mingling with the miasma as it does so. It's your guys' turn.
So where am I in height relation to him?
You're about looking at right at his face.
So could I try to get on top of him?
Yes, you could.
Okay.
So, the way we're going to treat this is we're going to use the optional grappling a large creature rules from the Dungeons Guide. We're going to treat this guy like terrain. That's how big he is.
Right.
So what you're going to need to give me is either an acrobatics or an athletics check, whichever is higher, and it's going to be countered by this thing's dex, which is not good.
Okay. All right, so I'm adding my acrobatics.
Cool.
Ooh, 11.
Is good enough.
Oh, thank God.
This guy is not dexterous. It's a big lumbering machine, and I also rolled crappy.
Okay, cool.
So you are on top of this thing. So how this is going to work is So this
It actually worked.
It does. So this thing is difficult terrain.
Okay.
All your movement is halved. Climbing,
Okay.
walking, all of your movement is halved on this thing. But you have advantage on attacks against it because you're standing on top of it.
Okay, cool. So, and I call down to Quickpick, try to take out the orcs. I've got the big guy.
He says, right, okay, you've got the big guy. So he rolling for right now, him?
Him, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and he misses.
He misses.
I roll
Okay.
a 3.
Okay. Cool. All right. So the Warforged doesn't seem aware that you're on top of it yet, so he's going to swing its hammer down on Quickpick again. I need him to make another dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 13.
Oh, good job. So he again dodges out of the way as the hammer comes down again. The orcs see you though and start hucking javelins at you. So the 2 below you, one of the javelins glances you for 1. And the third is going to huck a javelin at Quickpick, but he misses. So 2 of the javelins kind of bounce off this thing's plating, and one of them streaks by and gets you in the arm.
Okay.
It's your guys' turn.
Well, let's have Quickpick shoot that guy over there, probably.
This guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
18.
Yeah.
And 4.
Okay. This arrow strikes true. What about you?
I want to look for
Ouch. This game.
is if there's anything that looks like a little weak spot or like an opening somewhere.
Perception.
14.
You see that there are some kind of like openings in the plates that when this thing kind of shifts, you can see kind of the interior of it, but there's nothing that's like the Zelda glowing red eye thing.
Right, yeah. So I want to take out my hammer and I want to stick the prongs into it and kind of rip at this thing.
Wrench this thing open. Okay. So make an attack. You're going to at advantage since you're on top of it.
Man. We were talking about my asthma being like really bad allergies, so this is very immersive for me.
Exactly. You're just getting into character.
Ooh, good. 22.
Yeah, that hits.
And 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. So you wrench the hook bit of your hammer in there, and you get it in between the plates, and you start trying to like wrench, and it's just not budging.
Not moving.
Like this thing is like it's not even made out of steel. Like this metal is just it's really difficult to do any damage to. You get the sense that like you could sit here all day and beat on it with a hammer, and it wouldn't do too much to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's both of us.
That's both of you? Okay, cool. So the Warforged is now aware of you since you're beating on it with a hammer, so it's going to try and toss you off.
Okay.
So go ahead and make either acrobatics or athletics, your choice. And this thing's going to oppose
20.
you. That's a 1.
Oh, nice.
So this thing starts spinning, like its top part can spin all the way around, and so it starts spinning itself, and you just kind of like you hook in with your hammer and you stay on it like rodeo style. And then the 2 orcs that threw javelins at you before are going to try again.
Okay.
What's your AC again? 14?
14, yeah.
Okay, yeah, they both miss.
So SK is trying to get inside of my sweatshirt, my sweater again.
And Quickpick gets hit for 3 piercing damage as a javelin sinks into his shoulder.
Quickpick, no! Oh.
You guys.
All right. Quickpick is gonna shoot at this orc again.
Okay.
12.
12 is enough. 12 is just enough.
Okay,
That's
cool.
AC.
And then 4.
4? Okay. So that orc is still standing.
I want to try to move down towards the joint at the arm.
Okay, real quick before you do that.
Yeah.
So with Quickpick, don't forget that he has move action too.
Yeah.
So he can always try and take cover. And he also has the bonus action where he can disengage or hide.
Right.
So he could try to like hide if he wanted to on his turns.
Okay.
Not saying you need to do that now, but just
Yeah.
like helping you remember that you have that as an option
Yeah.
right now. So you're going to try and move down to its arm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So you can easily do that even with halved movement.
Okay.
So you kind of like do some cool flippy, martial arts stuff to get down to its arm. And what are you going to try to do down there?
I want to see if it looks like there's something that I can make the arm fall off.
Oh, okay. So you do see, it's definitely more exposed in the arm because it has all these moving parts that it needs to have. And so you can see through the plates, you can see the gears that control this thing's motion.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see them kind of winding themselves back up as the arm is coming back up for an attack. So you can try to attack the innards if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that.
Okay, cool.
Is there any like wooden part nearby?
Yeah, there's wood in it.
I'm just wondering, because I could punch wood.
The wood would probably actually be less wielding than the armor.
Yeah.
Because the wood is like more flexible.
Oh, that's true.
And so it's like like metal you can break, but wood is a little bit more flexible, so it's not going to break as easily.
Whatever.
Stupid logic.
So 22.
Definite, yeah.
And 6.
6, okay. Again, you feel like you're hitting with the hammer, and you feel like it should be doing more damage.
Okay.
This thing is very resistant to your attacks.
Yeah.
What about Quickpick already went. Cool.
Yep.
All right. This thing is going to barrel down and charge the building. So it's both of you need to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
So the Mariners are playing, so I had to check the score.
There's no sports in D&D.
Whatever. Ooh, so I rolled a 2, so 4.
Okay.
Quickpick. Oh, Quickpick rolled a 1.
Okay.
Quickpick is gonna die.
No. All right. So you get thrown from this thing as it barrels through the rubble. Or through the building. The building is collapsing around you. You manage to avoid the debris, but you fall 2 stories. This thing is tall, and so you just kind of come careening off of it, and you don't manage to catch yourself as you fall, and you take 6 bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground. Quickpick, 2, also takes 6 as the building kind of collapses around him.
So that puts me out. Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. It's your guys' turn.
Okay. So is this about where I'm at?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So am I on my butt?
You're on your butt.
And is he on his butt?
Yes.
Over there.
Yeah, you're both prone right now.
So I want to stand up and get my rope out.
You got it.
Can I do anything else?
Yeah. You can take an action.
There isn't anything I want to do.
There's anything you want to do?
Nope.
Aside from pee your pants?
Oh, actually, wait 1 second. I forgot to grab a spell card that I needed.
Oh, you have a spell?
Well, I can do Misty Step.
Oh, that's right.
And I think that actually might help me here.
I think it might, yeah.
But it might count as my move action.
Misty Step?
Yeah.
I think it would.
Oh, it's a bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to Misty Step myself right up to this guy.
Okay.
And I want to try and time it so I can tie a rope around his leg.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So you're trying to you're harpoons and tow cables.
I am.
On this walker.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about a little quick pick?
Quickpick is getting up and shooting an arrow at this orc.
Okay, go for it.
And he critted.
Awesome.
So that is 8 damage.
8 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That orc goes down. Go ahead and drop him. Nice shot, Quickpick. Okay. So, the orc... Jeez. Behind you, with his axe...
This is a TV warden here.
I know. Is going to charge forward with his axe. He drops his javelin, takes out his axe, charges you. You kind of duck under it, though, and roll as he swings his axe overhead. You hear it whistle over your head. And that orc over there is actually going to charge towards Quickpick. Put him about halfway across the face of the building there. Yep, right there. And throw a javelin. He misses, though.
Good.
Just barely.
Like, neither of us can get
Quickpick's
hit.
AC is 15?
12, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so he misses. Alright.
Us?
Your turn.
What about the big guy?
Oh!
Damn it! Damn it!
So, big guy is going to move a little closer to Quickpick. A little closer. There you go. And swing the axe down on Quickpick. So he's actually going to make an attack here with the axe.
SK.
That's 2 plus... Okay, so Quickpick just dives out of the way as the axe sinks into the ground. This thing just...
Awesome.
And the street just like crumbles underneath the axe. Just this thing just splits the street in half.
I called for reinforcements.
SK is here. Power of kitties. Alright, it's your guys's.
Alright, so I need the cat to move back to her spot. I want to try and time it so that because these are like pendulums, right?
Uh-huh.
So I should be able to like time it so I can go underneath and then, right?
Yeah,
so I want to try and do that and walk my rope around him.
Okay, cool.
Like that.
Awesome. So what I'll need from you then is just an acrobatics check.
Okay.
As you kind of like duck and flip over the stuff.
Oh, 15.
15? Okay, cool. Yeah, so you
Please stop.
roll underneath it, the pendulum swings, and you kind of dive, roll, flip over it, and run all the way around and get the rope tied around this thing.
Cool, and then I think that's all I can do.
What about Quickpick?
Oh, Quickpick. Fuck. He is shooting at this guy over here.
Okay, go for it.
21. And 6.
Okay, he drops that guy finally. There's one orc left.
Oh, it's not my turn. I'm trying to cheat again.
You are trying to cheat. Alright, so the remaining orc is going to attempt to grapple you. He sees what you're doing. So give me an acrobatics check, please, to try and thwart his grapple.
6.
Yeah, he grapples you. He luckily you tied the rope, but he comes up behind you and puts his arm around you, kind of yanks you away from the Warforged, so you're grappled. And the Warforged did its hammer or axe, so it's gonna slam its hammer down. Oh, I'm not rolling well with the Warforged.
Very good.
Quickpick again dives out of the way as the hammer comes down. Now the axes come down. He like dived out of the way, and then he saw the hammer come down. He's like rolling back the other way, so he's like in between the two weapons now.
Gosh.
And he just has this look on his face like, why am I doing this? Okay, it's your guys' turn.
Okay. So I want to try and get out of the grapple.
Try and get out of the grapple? Okay, so just give me acrobatics or athletics. It's going to be opposed by his.
I'm going to use a fate check to roll with advantage.
Cool. Well, wait to use it.
Okay.
Roll
that's
first,
right. You
and
do
then-
it different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Awesome. I rolled a 20.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, you you easily break his hold and get away from him.
Back up off me.
Back up off my grill. Do you want to move?
Yes, I'm going to try and get behind him.
Okay. You do so. Quickpick?
He is going to move over here.
Mm-hmm.
And can he move that far?
He can, yeah. He can move 30 feet. He's pretty quick for a goblin.
Shoot at the orcs.
Okay, cool.
15.
Yes.
And 6.
You take him down. Last orc drops.
Man, quick pick for MVP.
Yeah, he's good with the bow, man. He's pretty good. Okay. The Warforged starts to turn around, and you see it kind of lurch against the rope. And as it does so, you see the rope just snaps, but it's already kind of overextended its top weight, and it starts toppling over.
Awesome.
It goes... And the building, what's left of the building, just collapses around it. Just smoke just rises in a big plume. And as the dust settles, Quickpick is... Can we go?
Let's just get out of here.
Please. I promised I'd get you out of here safe. You're making it difficult.
I'm just gonna start running away.
Yeah, and as you do so, you hear, and you see the debris like lurching as this thing is getting itself back up.
Oh shit!
And so, but you can outrun it easily.
Yeah.
And you two kind of break through the borders of the city. The buildings kind of get sparser and sparser. Eventually, there's just a few huts here and there, and the road leading out of Tien kind of extends before you. And you keep running, and you're coughing, and you look down, you see blood in your hand, and your vision is kind of swimming, and you kind of look to see if there's any end to the miasma, and you can see just barely 10 feet in front of you. The miasma is still just thick in front of you, and your vision's foggy, and you hear a voice saying, "All right, take," and it sounds like it's far away. It's, "Take, come on, let's go. We gotta keep moving. You gotta get up." And you're trying so hard to get yourself up and keep moving, but you just have no strength left. And you look down at your hand with the blood, and you realize you're shaking. And as you kind of topple backwards and darkness overtakes you, you just see those 4 symbols again, and you see them kind of overlaid over that relief, that wall in the fane, and you see the wall crack open and a light just spreads out, and white light just overtakes you as you lapse into unconsciousness. And that's where we'll end session 1. Thank you.
I take it back.
So we will do session 2 here soon and find out what will happen next on Zhekesh.
Awesome.
What did you think? Did you enjoy it?
It was so cool. This guy is insane.
I know. I
love it.
I splurged a little bit on the miniature for him,
Yeah.
so he's going to be a bit of a reoccurring villain.
That's awesome. No, that's so cool.
His AC, by the way, is 22.
Oh
you
my
kept
gosh.
you kept hitting it though, and you're like 22. I got it. It's like
Yeah.
you really got it.
That's awesome.
Good job, though. You did a great job, and it's always really tough, especially with a one-on-one campaign when you're playing a new character to get into their head and think about how they would react to things. And I think you're doing a good job, and I think it's only going to get better as the campaign goes on. So, and I'm going to throw some more fun NPCs for you to interact with too.
Cool.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it from us. Please stay tuned for more sessions, and we'll see you next time. So take care and happy gaming all.